I have been budgeting for 12 years, faithfully, without fail, every month. And we've had some bad months and we've had some overages, but I can't ever remember them being this bad, ever. So today we're doing our budget recap for January 2020, and I'm going to walk you through our family spending plan on an Excel spreadsheet. And I'm going to show you that even though we did fail somewhat monumentally and catastrophically, because we're one full month ahead in income, we're going to be just fine. It's not really going to impact too terribly much, I hope. Hi, I'm Wendy Valencia. I'm going to just start out by saying we were officially $5,380.20 over budget. And 3/4 of that was for one very specific reason. And you can see the yellow highlighted stuff was general unplanned stuff, which is probably about $500. And the blue is the stuff that I can't believe I forgot, which was probably another $1,000. And then the rest of it was this one thing that I had not planned for, but we decided really needed to happen fairly quickly. So what did I forget? Why did I forget it? Well, when I was making up my January budget, I was kind of out of my zone. I wasn't using my normal system. And so I forgot stuff like, oh, we needed to pay the tutors to a tune of $140 a week for Miss W. And that Mauricio might need school supplies for the first week of schools. And then there was that whole let's film a video about what we spend in a week debacle. Did you see that on Friday? It was kind of a train wreck. It was really long, but it was a train wreck. So apparently I'm here to show you that if you're feeling like you suck at budgeting and creating a spending plan, there are months that it's going to happen to everyone, even the best of us. It's just going to happen. So that is okay. It happens to people in the beginning. It happens to people with tons of experience. And I'm not here to beat myself up about it. I'm here to just walk through it. And we're actually fine. February is going to be really, really tight, but we'll make it, or we're going to die trying. So someone asked me if now that I'm back to Excel, if I still reconcile everything, and absolutely yes, I reconcile every single cent still every month. It keeps me on track. It makes me immediately aware of bad transactions in my bank. It makes me know where we stand every single day. So I will never give up reconciling. Now that I've done it, I won't go back. So in our housing category, which settled out at 2%, we started at 270 and finished at 270. And that is my world famous storage unit. Pretty sure people pass me on the street and they're like, hey, aren't you that girl with the storage unit? In the utilities category, which was 1% of our budget, we had our cell phone for $170, and that is all we have in utilities. Food, although disastrous this month, was not the worst month we have ever had for food, and it was still only 4% of our budget. We spent $311.93 on groceries and a whopping $691.51 on eating out. And as you can see, that we did have several meals out planned in the budget. So as you know, if you watched my video where I talk about how I plan my budget, where I got out my planner and I went through day by day, I actually talk about planning to eat out on the really busy days, or the days that Mauricio has class and he is going to be running from work to school and maybe not coming home until 10:30 at night. And it would be unfair of me to expect him to eat home or eat a sandwich. So he does grab fast food. So we do plan on eating out. And we're honest with ourselves. There are going to be days that we want to go out with friends. There are going to be days that we want to go to happy hour. So we put those things in our spending plan all the time. And honestly, because we are continuing to still be over, I'm really starting to think that I'm just not being realistic enough about our eating out. Or I need to have, which is probably more realistic, like 10 freezer meals that I can just pop in the oven when I'm feeling super lazy. And that would probably take care of any lazy eating out, because we do have lots of lazy eating out nights. Childcare at 7% of our budget, started at $830 and finished at $1,602.80. It's like I wasn't aware that I had a child and she needed stuff. I forgot that she saw Miss W twice a week. I forgot that I had to actually pay for ice skating lessons. And then there was a last minute project at school that Melina had, and I have a major issue with this. Last minute projects at school, they have bitten me in the butt on more than one occasion. So if you saw the what I spent in a week, you saw me stop by Dollar Tree and grab, I was already in Dollar Tree and getting some other stuff, and I grabbed a bunch of poster board and a bunch of stickers, letter stickers, and some other little items to use for school projects, because Michael's is crazy expensive. And so when Melina comes home and is like, oh, I forgot to tell you, I have a project tomorrow, I could honestly be the mom that's like, well, too bad for you, I guess you're not going to do it. But I'm not that mom. I'm just not. I'm not capable of being that mom. So we go off. I yell at her. There's loud words. It's a thing. Sometimes it's her fault. Sometimes it's my fault. I'm not going to lie. There have been times that she has told me ahead of time and I've forgotten to write them down, and it's been my fault that we didn't have school supplies. So what I have done in the past is I had these supplies on hand, and when those projects come up, we're ready to roll with them. But I am training her to not do the last minute projects. She's going to be a planner like me. You'll see. In the transportation category, which settled out at 2%, it started at $220 and finished at $171.83, and that's because we didn't spend all the gas and we had no tolls, but we did pay for the $32 car wash. In the insurance category, which ended up being 3% of our budget, it should have been dead on, but I think my USAA insurance went down or something. I really need to call and find out why my payment went from like $219 to $67. I checked and all my bills were paid, so there's not a problem, but I'm guessing I've been overpaying for a while. I did change from auto paying $219 to auto paying the minimum payment in December, so that's what I'm guessing the difference is. I'm not really sure, but I'm assuming that's where the issue is, and now like it's catching up with the overpayment I had. So probably next month it'll be back to $219. Then in Mauricio's school expenses, it was less than 1%. It was just a multitude of books and school supplies, nothing really too exciting here, most of which he purchased in the video you saw on Friday. And in the miscellaneous category, for 6% of our budget, it started at $639.95 and finished at a whopping $1,186.04. I did not take out cash because I already had cash in my wallet, and so we did use that. Actually, Mauricio used cash. I didn't really spend any cash at all. In reoccurring tech expenses, I forgot Audible, Amazon Music, and my Google Drive. I'm not even joking. I don't know why. Miscellaneous was like a 2020 wall calendar. I have like this dream of being able to like have this beautiful wall calendar that I can either just print out or it comes in the mail and it has everything like neatly typed on it. I feel like I'm going to design something someday that allows me to do that, because I want my wall calendar to be typed and beautiful and hang on the wall and look lovely, as opposed to my chicken scratch. And then the Super Bowl squares I talked about for my nephew in the what I spent for a week. And then we had some necklace supplies, and those Melina got for Christmas from Santa. This, she believed she could, so she did a pendant for when she was feeling less than brave. And, you know, it was just a typical, you know, stainless silver-esque chain that it was on. And it broke after a few weeks. And rather than invest a huge amount of money in a new chain, or even a cheap chain and having to keep buy it over and over and over, I actually got stainless steel like cord pull with those, really obnoxious clasp things like they use them to make dog tags out of. And I was able to clip it to the length I need. And thus far, she's had it on 2 weeks and not a problem. It hasn't bent, crinkled, nothing. Doesn't itch your neck, no problem. Then in clothing, which was less than 1% of our total spending plan, if you follow me on Instagram, I finally bid farewell to my gray tennis shoes. I had worn through the soles like 3 months ago, and I have been looking for a new pair of sneakers forever, or kicks, I don't know, whatever you kids are calling them these days. But anyway, I just wanted a pair of awesome shoes that I could dress down, like I could wear a blazer with jeans and wear to work on casual days. And I think I tried every single pair of Steve Madden shoes and I sent them all back. Finally, I don't know how I tripped over them, but I found this brand called Saludos and I love them. I mean, I am so in love with these shoes. I will have them in every color. I know without a doubt that I will have them in every color. I love them. So there are a few things that I probably have never talked about, or maybe I've talked about them, I don't know. But if there is something I need that is really expensive that I really would like to have, but I don't want to spend full price on, I frequently will go to Shop Goodwill and put on some sort of alert for it. And in this particular scenario, I needed a bag to carry my laptop in to meet with people. I had this one particular bag that I was in love with, and it was by Fry, and it was almost $600, and I wasn't willing to pay $600. And so I put an alert on Shop Goodwill for this Fry bag, and not the exact bag came up, but one that was exceptionally similar in a slightly paler gray came up, and I bid on it and I won, and it was the perfect size, exactly what I needed, and I got it for $150, which seems like a lot for a used bag, but considering it's a $600 bag, $150 is a bargain, and it was in great condition. And then I did take it to the dry cleaners. They have a purse service there, and they will clean the leather and then clean the interior there. And that's just a local purse service that they have there. And so I did take it and get it cleaned as well. And so I haven't started using it yet, but I was so excited to get this bag. It was good luck. So that was not in the plan, but when those kind of things come up that are on my alert that I'm looking for, I go ahead and buy them because they won't come up again. In the giving category, we don't talk about that on this channel. So here is where the big change was, and that is our savings category, and that is 9%. We had $1,000 to our savings funds like we do every month, and some of y'all call them sinking funds. Some people call them savings funds. I call them savings funds. But then we sent $3,500 to my business. Why? Because I am working to separate my YouTube accounts from my personal expenses, which I think is a huge thing in a business. And I wanted to have some money in that account. So that was important that I do that before my website was up. It's a brand new account. I needed some padding in there, and we decided to go ahead and do that and take care of that right then and there. My plan is not to use my job money to fund a business very often, but it did need some seed money right now. Because if I'm using my job money to fund my business, then it's not a business, it's a hobby, right? So our debt was the big winner of the month. And even though we were ridiculously over, we did pay off our car, as I mentioned in the very first video of this month. And we also paid to Navy Federal, and that was awesome. We did lower that payment. We had initially planned on putting $1,450, and we ended up paying just over $1,000 to that. So how are we going to cover, because we're well over $5,000 off. So where's that money coming from? Are we going to pull it out of savings? So we are taking that money from February. So although we had planned on paying lots of money to debt in February, we are not going to do that. We are actually going to have a very, very tight month in February, and we are going to recover, and then March we'll be back on track. So I'll see you in the next one.